If you're an expat and you're wondering what life might be like in Istanbul, then today's video is for you. Hi, my name is Sadife and I lead the strategy team here at Nomad Capitalist, where we help high net worth individuals go where they're treated best. Today, I'm going to talk about the city that connects the world, Istanbul. With Turkey becoming more and more popular, a lot of our clients ask us, what does lifestyle in Istanbul look like? Specifically because Turkey overall as a country is very different from the West. But interestingly, Istanbul is a bit more similar to the Western lifestyle in comparison to the rest of the country. So it makes it for a perfect destination for more Western people to actually move to. One of the more frequently asked topics is, what does the dining and shopping experience look like in Istanbul? And of course, with the dining experience, you have your Turkish cuisine, which is very delicious, and you have a lot of options for that. You'd be surprised to see how many Western restaurants and pretty high-end restaurants are actually available in Istanbul. You have, of course, depending on what area of Istanbul you go to, if you go to Nişantaşı and especially the Abdi İpekçi Street, you have quite a lot of very high-end restaurants, which also you will find a lot of high-end shopping, especially international shopping there. A mix of local high-end brands and your typical luxury high-end brands from more of an international level. If you'd be interested exploring a bit more of the high life of Istanbul, you can check out our Live Like a King video for Istanbul, specifically on our main channel. Another very, very common topic that is talked about is housing in Istanbul. Now, I'm sure you've heard about the real estate options in Istanbul overall, because it is very common for foreigners to buy property in Istanbul, especially for the citizenship by investment program. But you do actually have quite a few options that are very, very good to live in. It depends on the area though, because you have more specific areas that would be better just for investment purposes. You can rent them out either long-term or short-term, and they will have like a higher yield, and you would have your other areas that would be very good for you to live in. Now, of course, your preference plays a very big role. Would you like the European side or the Asian side? The Asian side, I would say, is a bit more famous amongst locals, so you don't really have that much of an international scene there. But on the European side, you actually do. So you have a lot of good areas such as Bebek, Arnavutköy, Nişantaşı, even Bomonti, with a lot of expats and a lot of wonderful properties to actually live in. Now, if you're moving there as a family, Istanbul is the perfect place for international schools. You have the British, the American curriculum, and you have quite a few options when it comes to schools, especially on the areas that I've mentioned, such as, Nişantaşı. More specifically, I would say on the European side in comparison to the Asian side. Although homeschooling is not really common in Turkey, in Istanbul, the quality and quantity of the private schools actually make up for it. Now, one slight issue that you might have when you actually move to Turkey is the language. Of course, you're not going to learn the Turkish language immediately after you move, and unfortunately, English is not really that widely spoken, especially within Istanbul, but with the private schools, that's not really a topic of concern. As an expat, Istanbul might not be the place where you would spend the entire year. It is still a good place to have a flag in. Istanbul, with the main airport, is very well connected to the world. So you have flights that fly out pretty much anywhere in the world. Again, very well connectivity. So it would be a good place to have, let's say, like an apartment where you can rest in between, your long haul flights. It is a very good spot for that. With the move to Istanbul, you will of course need to have access to a local bank account just for day-to-day transactions. And although the banks in Turkey overall are not the most famous one for international wealth management, they're actually quite good for day-to-day transactions. They're highly responsive, they have a very good online banking system, and their branch representatives are usually very nice as well. As you can see, Turkey, and specifically Istanbul, is a great place to be in. From the lifestyle to food and all the way to the education, it is a great place to consider for your next move. So if Istanbul sounds appealing, or there is another location that you would like to explore or consider, you can reach out to us and apply to become a client at nomadcapitalist.com/apply. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. My name is Sadife Mehmed, and I'll see you on the next video.